Hey guys, I just wanted to do my reaction video for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., the Season 5, Episode 7, Together or Not at All. So, the last episode, he watched it. Basically, Fitz has gone to the future by cryogenically freezing himself for 70 years. Enoch had helped him integrate within, Cassius' inner circle, where it was revealed that Cassius was sent to the lighthouse is basically because he was the unfavorite of his father in the Kree Empire and was sent to oversee the last of humanity. Um, Something that Fitz was able to use to try to relate to him and get into his good graces. Daisy was being the quote unquote destroyer of worlds, was being supposed to be being auctioned off to the highest bidder, and there was this but the whole thing with but the fact that May was defeated by Cassius's right hand woman a couple episodes before gave away the fact that to Cassius there were others that came from time traveled to the late 21st century, and he had been executed for deceiving him. And ultimately ended with Cassius' brother showing up to exert his dominance, as well as, Daisy and Fitz, basically trying to get the drop on everybody, and Simmons trying to kill Cassius, but slit his, slashed his throat, but it turns out it was not fatal. I guess because Kree have a healing factor, and them trying to escape. And so now we're just going to see how it plays out with them trying to escape from the lighthouse, try to go back to the future, try to rendezvous with Enoch because he got to the top of the surface trying to rescue May because that's where she was sent, and we'll see how this all plays out.
Oh my god! Oh. Her implants, I must be messing with it.
What do you do?
Just get it out!
Okay, hey, Gemma, this is gonna hurt.
Oh my god.
We gotta go. Don't tell me that was.
Oh, yeah. I see. You're resentful because I allowed him to throw you in the crater. Well, look at you. No worse for wear. You held your own against the destroyer of worlds, as I knew you would. Your strength has never let me down. And now I ask for you to lend it to me once again. We're so close, Sonara. To freedom from this place. Restored to glory. Together.
You're begging. It's repulsive.
I'm imploring you to think. To use reason. I must appease my brother, and I cannot allow him to steal my reward.
Guess they're lovers?
I'll keep him entertained. We'll let his man chase her tail, while you figure out what's in her head. Where will she go?
So, Daisy, yeah. Probably wishes she was standing still and not on the lawn, at least not on the surface.
My name is Enoch. Fitz sent me.
Fitz? How are you not eaten by those things?
They have no interest in me, as I have no tender insides for them to extract.
I thought Fitz was done building robots.
I am not a robot. I am a sentient chronicom from the constellation you know as Cygnus. I'm here to aid you. You, who will save humanity. Melinda May, Gemma Simmons, Philip J. Coulson.
Say that name again?
Philip J. Coulson.
You're the son of a bitch from that diner who got us into this whole mess! You...
I am here to get you out of this whole mess. It would appear I got here just in time.
Who are you?
The Vrelnexians ride the gravity storms, but I don't think it's me.
The gravity storm.
I think they're afraid of something else.
I prefer a blade. Feel the warm blood on my hands as the life drains from my adversary's body.
Spoken like a true child of our father.
Maybe if you'd bother to sound more like him, you'd be less of a disgrace!
A disgrace. Who with no prior training was placed in charge of his own fleet. A disgrace who fought, as you did, against our enemies.
You lost a strategic outpost and thousands of warriors' lives in the process.
I was put in an impossible situation.
Excuses!
I was cornered, outmanned, and overrun. 2 of my trusted generals dead at my feet, enemies closing in.
And so you ran.
What option did I have?
Glory! Drink the odium. Fight and die like any of the Cassius family name would have. Rather than fleeing with your low-born subordinate. I wondered, is it her beauty that you admire? Or her ability to kill?
Sonara defended me.
Both?
She cut down my would-be attackers.
And you were both exiled for abandoning your posts.
She saved my life! She's been by my side ever since. You called me weak. My strength comes from surrounding myself with loyalty.
More platitudes.
Taken, and I hope I am, but that's...
I would tell you.
That was from
Submit willingly or entertain me.
season-
These are your options.
season. That was like episode 3 or 4 of season 1.
You have come to collect the bounty?
No, I came to save your
I
ass.
should kill you right now.
Who the hell is this guy?
He works for Cassius.
I don't work for... I mean, sometimes I do technically, but right now, I'm Team S.H.I.E.L.D., all right?
It's convenient. He's showing up right now.
Convenient? No, it's mind-blowing that I managed to escape my room after Coulson welded the door shut. I had to crack a window. A lot of my personal valuables are now floating around space. Thanks very much, everybody.
Yeah, I do. Too many people have died. Good people.
You were offered the highest honor a human could hope for, to join Cassius below and see others rewarded in kind. Now, they'll get nothing.
Oh, I actually succeeded. Okay.
Up bay under the trawler, we can get to the airlock from there.
We use the device to create a gravity well.
Will it work?
Yeah, it'll work. It's our best option at this point.
I'll go first. I'll show you how it works. And then I'll drop the puck down. The next person can come up.
No, not a chance. I'm not gonna let you use it.
I hid a crate of shield tech in a wall on the base.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks, Turbo.
Where?
Level 3.
Level 3? Kidding me.
You mean the level infested with aliens that suck your blood?
Why was I I feel like I'm not getting enough credit here. I have traveled through time and space to find you. I think we're moving past that bit a little.
A warrior such as yourself deserves a leader worthy of your talents. I will show you things Cassius could never.
Oh, he was the better villain. What the hell?
Sinara is not some object to be taken.
Welcome back, Agent May. You hit your head quite hard.
Where are we? The Zephyr. Hell.
Huh?
What is going on?
They grabbed us just in time, anchored us against the gravity storm.
Who?
How is that the Zephyr? It looks nothing like the Zephyr. Oh, it's the stone with the pots that
I've waited such a long time to see you again.
Huh? Who the hell are you? Okay, so just as a recap, the artificial gravity they were using, gravitonium, that was from season 1, episode 3, that was worked on a scientist named Franklin Hall. He arranged him. He did research on the thing. He arranged himself to. He worked for Shield. He did research on it. He arranged for himself to get kidnapped by Ian Quinn, who I guess was part of the. I guess was kind of part of the Hydra conspiracy, and he wanted to try to sabotage the project. He wanted to try to sabotage the project, but Coulson realized how much damage it can do to the population. So ultimately the plan never moved forward, and Franklin Hall got sucked into the gravitanium, and there was a cliffhanger at the end of that episode, which hinted that he merged with the gravitonium and that he was going to become the supervillain Graviton, who is a villain from basically the Avengers Rogues Gallery. 5 seasons in, that never really came to fruition. I don't know if or when it's ever going to come to fruition at this point. I'm not getting my hopes up, but it just seems to be an abandoned idea. The woman at the end, this episode, I first didn't know who it was, but I thought maybe, I guess it's that woman. I guess it was, I don't know, that woman Hinton, Charles Hinton's daughter, that showed up at the end. I was surprised to see. I think it was. Oh yeah, she was holding the bird in her hand, so it's definitely. So it has to be Robin Hinton. She was somebody. I don't know. I don't know like how old she was like in her last appearance. Like 2 episodes ago, like in 2017. So I was surprised that she lived long enough to, use a lighthouse as a base, and I guess use it as, and I guess it's like refuge. I guess it's, or I guess like use what's left of the Zephyr. Use what's left of the Zephyr. I guess considering which would make sense considering, Hunter and Fitz use it to escape that military base. And see in episode 2 episodes ago, and maybe they still use, and that's what they used to go to the lighthouse in present day, and they still use that as a base of operations. And it's probably how they were means to survive. Like I said, like I didn't expect her to live this long, and I'm impressed that she was able to live this long. She doesn't look bad for her age. And yeah, I guess it makes sense. And like I said, it feels like things are kind of coming together. Like she's the one who prophesized that the Agents of Shield had to go to the future, and that humanity was going to be destroyed. So I feel like it's things coming full circle because Enoch was decided help Fitz take the long way into the future and assist them in the prophecy and trying to save humanity. And of course, it was the way I didn't know that whether or not May was going to realize like who Enoch was. But I guess like based on how he addressed Coulson as Philip J. Coulson, she realized that yeah, he's the guy who basically sent them to capture them from the diner and sent them into the future. And it's kind of cool how things are gonna play out. I don't know how things are gonna play out at this point, but it was nice to get some more backstory between Cassius and his brother Carl. Wow, they had, I think it's Falnock. That basically they were like Kree warriors who fought in some kind of battle. I don't know if it was whether it was a battle to, maybe it was just like another planet, maybe it was involved the destruction of Earth. But basically, he fled the battlefield because two of their generals were killed, and instead of dying honorably, he decided to flee with Sonara, which I'm assuming has like a relationship with, and is heavily hinted at in this episode more than any other. And the fact that, and then you realize that Sonara actually killed two of the generals that kept them from fleeing the battle, because it's like Cassius has proven he's he's totally a narcissist, and he kind of was, and like his brother Falnock said, like he basically was a coward and very materialistic and never meant for the battlefield. And he says like, "Oh, you're a coward who like stabbed his enemies in the back," and he just goes, "Yeah, and in the front too." I was kind of hoping to have this whole like dynamic, this whole like power play between Falnock and Cassius play out a little more than like a couple of episodes. Considering I just found like Falnock a more interesting villain. Like he was a very like aggressive, kind of take charge, and it just seems like you can just sense like Cassius is like disinterest of just ruling over what's left of humanity. That he was I mean the reason why Sonara was the enforcer and his right hand woman and most of the heavy lifting, and he just seemed to be like, and yet he had like all these soldiers who was basically enslaving humanity and making them live in fear and fight against one another. But he seemed disinterested. It just feels like Falnock seems like a more like authoritative person, and something that I feel like kind of a more a force to be reckoned with, as opposed to Cassius, who's not the most threatening villain. But maybe that's, I don't know, maybe it's the idea he's supposed to be kind of like this narcissist who like has others like do his dirty work. I don't know. It was a little like, it felt rushed to me. And it was cool that this kid, the fact that this kid Flint was like willing to risk his life to, one, not only make sure that nobody else, he wanted to use his powers for good, and also make sure that not only that nobody else died, like tested for his sake, but also being able to avenge her death as well. And I liked how they have this. And again, I didn't care to see Zeke back, or Deke. He's kind of an annoying character. He just seems like a coward, and but of course they're not going to kill off the unlikable character because there's no drama there. So I guess we're stuck with him for a while, and they're going to kill off everybody who you get emotionally attached to and care about. Well, I guess Grill was the exception, but still he was like a villain who had it coming. But he's one. But again, as far as like good guys, quote unquote good guys or protagonists are concerned, he's the one we're stuck with of the new characters in the future. Or at least from the light, at least from the underground, the light underneath the lighthouse, underneath the surface. So it's kind of funny how it was like he was gonna take the anti-gravity device and say, "I'll go first," and he was like, "No, no, 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 we're not doing that. You're going last." Or funny moments where Fitz finally got to reveal he hid all the weaponry, shield weaponry, like on level 3, and then of course like Mac and Yo-Yo are just like, really, like where the roaches are there to eat us, and him getting like mad and just saying, "Look, I traveled through time and space to find you guys. I at least got to get some credit." And the fact that it's like I liked how Fitz is becoming more like a I guess like more of an action hero, for lack of better terms. It's kind of like the guy's really come a long way from the framework and the Hydra takeover of Shield and all this other stuff. It was cool to see all that. And I guess like I said, I continue to sit in I think at least two videos ago that for the Agents of Shield reactions, that it was nice to see Enoch being more of an ally instead of just being more of a kind of third party antagonist. And just had like good intent. He had good intentions for what he, despite his methods, but it's good that he's he's acting as an ally, and I'm wondering to see. But just see how it's going to play out. But yeah, I mean, I feel like the plot's really starting to thicken. I guess it now kind of makes more sense if that spaceship that the crew keeps taking to explore, like what's left of Earth. I guess they can just it's used to travel around what remains of it, or like location 616. I would expect nothing less than for May and Enoch being able to survive the battle, or survive being around the Verexilians. I think they said what they said it was, what their roaches were called. But I'm kind of waiting to see what kind of role that the future version of Robin plays in this whole conflict, and what Cassius' next move is going to be to and try to try to oppose Team Coulson. But anyway, guys, what do you think of the episode? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care.